time to talk about Gen V episodes 5. Welcome to the Monster Club. I'm here with Gaz. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
So, it seems to be a tale of two reviews because you're not enjoying this show. I'm actually loving this show with each episode. What's your problem with this episode and the show so far, Gary?
Well, I mean, like, just they we try to tell a narrative about this whole thing about this underground base and how they found it and stuff like that. And there's been like a buddy romance between I think their name is Jordan, I think, and Marie. There's been like
Mm-hmm.
there's been this whole thing going on and how little cricket has been trying to be all this, and all of a sudden they do the whole flaming generic shit of they've forgotten everything. It's like where they grew and all this sort of stuff. It's like for heaven's sake, they couldn't think of something more unique to do.
I actually thought it was quite smart, personally, considering it was a bait and switch on who done it to them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that made it even more interesting, and then them having to investigate themselves to find out what the fuck's going on. Yeah, I very much liked it. It was more of that Scooby Doo gang sort of stuff, which is fair enough. It is what it is now because we are dealing with like teenagers who are doing all of this sort of stuff, but them understanding what's going on, having their memories wiped, understanding it was one of the people within their own circle who ended up doing it. God knows how many times their memories have been wiped. Yeah, I actually I liked it all. The conclusion of it. To a degree, you could call this a filler episode if that was the case, because in their own way they had to do an investigation within an investigation. But there was some like really cool moments, like the character of Sam, for instance, like his moment, because he's going a bit nuts and he gets chased down by some security guards and he sees them as puppets. He becomes a puppet, and what he does to them as well, is like fucking hilarious. And then like no shit's given. One guy even pleading that he's a single father and all of that. Didn't care, and in inventive ways he killed them. Was really cool, knowing that the lady Ashetti is somebody on the inside that they can't be trusted. Who can they trust as well? It was yeah. I enjoyed some of the scenes. You know, wondering who's stabbing them in the back. The only issue I have is the well, let me see if I can find him in this cast. I'm not sure if he might be part of the main cast or not. But the guy who plays the psychic, um, he had his penis blown up
Oh, that
by
guy.
Marie. Yeah, and he seems to be walking around like nothing's going on. Like, what happened to him would have him in hospital still, personally. You know, and what happened to him is also probably life changing. Yeah, Rufus, his name is, I believe. Um, and him walking around like nothing going on got me. I mean, unless there's a superhero that can repair his dick, um, I don't know why he's able to walk around so well. But there you go. I mean, like a superhero with healing powers, so to speak. I mean, there's a possibility that there could be one.
Mhm.
So they've got all types of superheroes and stuff. But then waking up in this party initially, we forgot to talk about that last week. Then waking up, and like when the episode ended, there's Marie and Jordan in bed together. How the fuck did that happen? Obviously, you immediately think of Rufus, but everyone's waking up in this party. This party is really fucked up. There's one guy. I don't know what his superpower is, like to shoot loads of cum. I mean, he shot so much it was going through the ceiling. It was fucking nasty. Don't you
How
think?
shit of a superpower is that?
Well, some if you ever seen the animated version of the boys,
No, I haven't. Yes, I did
uh,
actually. It's the one where Simon Pegg finally plays. What's his name? The one that played Jack Quaid plays.
But yeah, they had different short cartoons on. They weren't all the same, but one of the cartoon shorts was basically people with shit superpowers. Like
Mhm.
this one guy was super slow, and one guy had tits for eyes, and all of this sort of stuff. I think one guy was like he had radioactive testicles and stuff like that. So
No, I mean it's
you
not
can
that
have, you
I'm
can
against
have
that.
shit superpowers. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I just remember the girl with that. There was a guy and there was a girl who had holes in her. And they were having sex, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Look,
Yeah, that
fucking."
hole in the back was a bit weird. I didn't get that.
I didn't get it
Did
either.
you?
I mean, as I said, this show just doesn't do it for me. I mean, like, again, I've seen the boys, and for what I've seen of the boys, I can understand why you guys like it. I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, like, Caleb is really good in it, and I like John Quaid in it quite a lot, and I do like the lady who plays Stag, and I do like the guy who plays Homelander. But yeah, this show is just like it's like every single mopey emo trope that I've had from teenage, like high school dramas for the last decade. Seems, and it's just like, I mean, because the boys, to me, from what I've seen of it, and I've seen quite a lot of it, seems to be that it deconstructs those sort of things. Like it deconstructs society in a way, and deconstructs like the superhero genre. And that's one thing I like about the boys, the TV show. This could do the same thing with like the tropes. Like I mean, because I actually thought that's what it was going to be initially. Was it going to be deconstructing those tropes? But he doesn't do that. He just puts those really just straight faced.
I look at it like this. I look at the boys as superheroes who have lived a life and they've been corrupted and they're assholes. I look at Gen V as as people with the ability to be superheroes don't really exactly know where their place is in life and have yet to be fully corrupted by the system because they're still young and naive, and in a way, there's almost hope for them. So that's personally how I look at it, and at the same time, they still do your college frat boy, things, which is what we see in this with their parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and yeah, and with a lot of college sort of or teenage sort of dramas and stuff, there is investigations to be done, and they're doing that as well, and seeing them, trying to deconstruct that was also quite pretty cool in my opinion. The character of Cricket, I mean, seeing her gain popularity because she's able to become big. All this time she's trying to be small, but big is maybe where it's at for her.
Like when she's drinking beer barrels and they're having to like maybe put the happy person sign, the emojis over her tits and stuff like that. It's just like,
yeah, but that's smart because they're doing it on social media. You can't show tits on social media, so this is all makes sense to me, and it's funny at the same time. I get it. Like we're in the social media world that we're living in.
Let's look at the pretty blonde girl's tits, but let's not actually look at them. You know what I mean?
Well, they can't because the way they explained it, that this is social media, so this is how it is. You can't have a tits being displayed, or the person's account's going to get cancelled or demonetized or whatever it may be. So but who cares? I mean, for me, it's not about showing their tits. It's just the messaging of it all is what makes it more interesting and funny and stuff. I mean, when they saw Sam, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, like, because this is the episode that should have been really that had a reason to be totally dark. It should have been dark. With not.
I thought it was.
I didn't think it was personally, just because it didn't delve into, like, for example, like how that makes you feel like there's no like your reflection on that and stuff like that. Because I'm sure what happened has happened IRL for a lot of women, and this could be. I don't want to use the word triggering because people use it all the time now these days, but it's going to be triggering for some people, and they should have been a lot more sensitive about the issue than they were, in my opinion. I think it's just them trying to be shocking again. And
This whole
that's
show's
my
about
problem. That's
them
my
being
problem with
shocking,
the
but
show. They just try to be shocking, and that's the thing that's annoying.
if you're if you know, there's nothing wrong in women doing all types of crazy shit if it's consensual and they're fine with it. It's when they're not fine with it which what matters. Obviously, she was cool with it. You saw the videos, but regardless of all of that, what we saw is when Sam came back into the picture. When Sam came back into the picture, sorry, my phone's ringing. I gotta get back to these people a bit later.
Sorry.
Yeah, when Sam came back into the picture, um, he he met the OG crew, and they had no idea who he was. And then we discovered their memory being wiped. Our first thought is Rufus. He's the one who's doing it, and then we realized that wasn't the case. But obviously Sam knows that they do memory wipes and stuff like that. Now they're all aware of what's going on within the school, what they can do about it. They're not so sure, but to then discover that it's one of their own in Katie, who did it, who's the one memory wiping them. Well, that was probably one of the most interesting twists, and we'll see where we go from there, because Rufus was going to get killed at one particular point. They were looking to kill him, and so that was that. In a way, if Rufus did get killed, and then they found out that it was Katie, that would have been probably a more better moment. But fair enough, Rufus did survive. So yeah, it was regardless of all. Basically, it was just them trying to rediscover that something fucked up's happened. Somebody's fucking with them, and they need to know what the hell's going on. And by the time the episode ended, they did know what's going on. I mean, for instance, Marie, she had a bloody tracker in her shoulder.
The other trackers in her shoulders.
Yeah. And she was able to notice that because obviously she has blood powers and stuff, and she was able to pop it out of her shoulder like a zit. And so, in a way, I think the trackers were put in them after they were put to sleep initially by Katie, so that way they can keep an eye on them, so they don't, do what they did before. Because obviously the university doesn't want to kill these people off. They've invested in them, So, but yeah. Anything you got to say about the episode?
It's not as bad as the second episode, but I still didn't like it because, as I said, the
second episode, or you mean the last episode?
No, the second episode. So the first episode, the two episode, they had the one where Patrick Schwarzenegger gets killed. That's the first episode. Then the second episode was the one where very little happens in it. It's just a load of like mooching and moaning about stuff that doesn't really matter. The third episode was slightly better, and then we had this, which was still quite bad. It's just them moaning about stuff. It's like, can somebody be happy about something? It's like they're all that Simple Plan song. Why does this happen to me? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean. Well, look, there was not as much to cover regarding this, because when it came to the main plot, there was the main plot of the story regarding what's going on and trying to find Sam and what the institution is doing. We didn't really get involved in that too much. It was more to do with our heroes, so to speak, rediscovering themselves. Whether they end up getting corrupted by the system fully, because we have noticed them a little bit of selfishness here and there, but they're all in it together now to find out what the answers are. When they do find the answers, then what's going to happen? I mean, the Vault machine is bigger than them. They've got superheroes within the Seven, and as well as other factions who outnumber them and are stronger than them and more experienced than them. It'll be interesting to see what happens in future episodes, because I don't think there's going to be a happy ending regarding this, because Vought, they are in charge of everything, and as long as that maintains, they whoever goes up against them is going to lose, in my opinion. So, you want to mark this episode? Do you want to give it? We want to give it out of 10.
Out of 10, I'll give it a very charitable 3.
Wow, I'm gonna give this episode an 8. I once again liked it. I'm enjoying the show. I thought the first 3 episodes were not the best, but once they brought in Tech Night last week and it started to find its feet, I'm fully on board. I'm really having a good time with this. I'm enjoying the humor. I'm enjoying the gore, the shockness. This is what you expect from the boys and the boys spin off, and I'm glad it's delivering.
I will say though, to be balanced, the sequence with the puppet violence was really good, well done. I did enjoy that part. I did enjoy that part, but it was like one part out of I don't know how long this particular.
Well, it's a way of giving us shock, gore, and all of that without giving us the shocking gore, but at the same time giving us the humor. Yeah, and gave us the humor at the same time, because we're seeing things from his mind when it comes to puppets and all this sort of stuff, Muppets and all of that. So yeah, long may this continue. I look forward to next week. All right, well then let's just keep this short and sweet. Thank you very much, Gary, for joining me, and thank you very much everyone out there for watching. Let us know what you think of this episode. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye bye.